with the steal. K-State with a costly turnover. And we're in the final minute and a timeout called by West Virginia.
Well, K-State was going for the quick two, going all the way across the court to Taylor. Quinterly came from the top of the key off her player because she read it correctly, gets the interception, going the other way for West Virginia.
Harrison's been good. Quinterly's been good. Thomas has been good on the glass. Where do you go to for the Mountaineers?
Well, first of all, I put Thomas on the weak side. Get her defender away, puts her in position to rebound. I would give Harrison, based on the matchup right now with sides on her, I'd give Harrison the ball and let her go to work.
Harrison back to Quinterly. Defended by sides. Quinterly. The floater is good. West Virginia's in front. Timeout. Kansas State. Actually, they're going to go to the monitor here. Going to think just to make sure of the time.
44.2 on the clock.
So honestly, I would advance it because the last thing you want to do is have a miscue in the backcourt. If there was any more time, I would say you're trying to go quick to make sure that you would try to get the ball back.
Now the question I have is, has Kansas State officially taken a timeout? I don't believe they did. They're still trying to work out the timing here.
I think they're trying to ask Jeff. And
yeah, there's no timeout was taken by K-State, so they're going to inbound it on the baseline.
Well, Eric, better move by Jeff Mitty because they were trying to ask him. He just refused to answer them. He just kept drawing the play up.
You mean head coaches have selective hearing?
I thought it was just men.
Well, now West Virginia, they think, I believe that there's a little confusion here as to whether or not K-State took a timeout because they went to the midcourt thinking it was going to be inbound to the front court, but now they have to set up and say, wait a minute, a timeout wasn't taken. I think there's still some confusion here, and West Virginia wasn't prepared for K-State to inbound on the baseline, so K-State keeps a timeout, Christy.
And I'm going to correct you. I think West Virginia's always ready to play defense, and we're just going to see it right now in the half court because this is where they've excelled today. Well,
Poindexter gets a wide open three, and it's off the mark, and a rebound pulled down by West Virginia. And a jump ball, possession arrow will give it to the Mountaineers.
Now I expect West Virginia to call timeout to advance it.
They will take the timeout. Be a 30-second timeout here for West Virginia, so a quick huddle, and they will advance it in to the front court. So that leaves one timeout for West Virginia, one timeout for K-State.
And so, Eric, K-State has to foul and put them at the free throw line. Their best option, if Watson is near it, foul Watson. She's the weaker free throw shooter on the floor right now at 59%, or if Thomas stays on the floor.
Small thing here, but it could be big with 25 to go. Right now, it's showing possession arrow West Virginia. That's this held ball. Once it's put into play,
correct,
it will flip over to Kansas State. And K-State will not advance, or will they advance it?
It's West Virginia advancing
West Virginia, rather, yes.
And I'll say this, if you can try to get a 5 count, you want the 5 count. West Virginia is spreading their players out because they know they have the speed advantage.
Now, this is an interesting setup here. You can see with Thomas right at midcourt, and to the left of Thomas, you're right, is Harrison, the point guard. And they find Quinterly. Who else but Quinterly? Still dribbling. No foul yet. You can't catch Quinterly, and they don't want to foul her. They haven't yet, and a timeout being called by West Virginia. This will be a full timeout. It's like a quarterback and 4 wide receivers set up for the Mountaineers. And the quarterback is Kyle Watson. And Watson gets it to Harrison. Great free throw shooter. K-State has not fouled her. Thrown up to Shaw, and finally Sides gives the foul, and Shaw will go to the free throw line. 87% free throw shooter is Sydney Shaw.
And so Shaw makes 2 possession games. Going to be really tough for K-State. But I'll say this point again. You must box out. If you're K-State, you have to assume a miss. If you're West Virginia, stay flat-footed. You do not want a lane violation here.
Shaw is 3 for 3 from the line tonight. Still a one-possession game, but here's the big free throw for the junior from Miami. Clutch. Sydney Shaw, timeout taken by Kansas State. Now a two-possession game, 11.4 to go, and Kansas State uses their final timeout to advance it into the front court. The winner of this game will take on the winner of TCU and Colorado tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 Eastern Time. TCU, the regular season champions, set to take on a Colorado team that has already won twice in as many days. Later on today, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech will close things out. Baylor and Iowa State will open up the night session here at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. All right, take us through it again. Quick two here, or are you looking for
quick two? Quick two. You don't want to waste time trying to get three. Obviously, if you get a quick one, you're taking it, but otherwise, quick score. Too much time.
West Virginia dialing up the defense. Sundell looking for a pass here. 4 seconds. 3. Glenn. That's going to come up short. And the West Virginia Mountaineers come from behind. And they will advance to the semifinals tomorrow here in Kansas City. Last year, it was Kansas State celebrating after a quarterfinal win over West Virginia. Tables have turned here in 2025 as West Virginia erases a 12-point deficit to win in the quarterfinal round. 73-69 the final, and now Kansas State will head back to Manhattan. It'll be the long wait to see where they'll be going and where they'll be seated for the NCAA tournament.